welcome back yet again to another episode of AB Reactions Wrestling. It's me, AB Matt Klein, back at you again. I just finished up Smackdown, and let's just get right into it. No use to wait. We started off the show, Daniel Bryan coming out in his hometown here in Seattle, Washington. So, of course, extremely popular there. He is everywhere, but of course there. Interrupted by first Miz and the Maurice, continuing that ordeal between them, hopefully building for something, you never know. Then, of course, interrupted by AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, all setting up for what we learned to be a fatal four-way coming up right after that. This, of course, all setting up for the Elimination Chamber contest on Sunday, which we will also be covering here in AB Reactions. But I thought it was a pretty good little four-way. Nothing crazy. The roll-up spot, I think if you've been paying attention, you've been seeing that in some of my house shows. But, you know, that was cool to see, I guess. Excuse me. But pretty good. It was a big win for Baron Corbin. I thought Baron Corbin continuing to grow on me. He wasn't a huge fan, per se, when he came up. Not a fan, but he's really growing on me. I think really turning into something cool. So it was good to see him get a big win there. I guess that's debatable, but I thought it was a pretty good little four-way. Perfect setup for the Elimination Chamber, and that's what that was really intended to do anyway, at least the way I see it. From there, a weird conference-type interview, Tom with Natalya and Nikki Bella. It was okay, I suppose. It was fine. It was just kind of there for me. Didn't really do much for me, good or bad, and it's just what it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm not huge into this Natty Nikki program. I know they're running it hard. I guess maybe this is going to be Nikki's little last deal before some time off, possibly retirement, hearing some things, and I'd see that, of course. Don't get me wrong, but just not really into this for me personally. But the interview segment was fine. I like they were trying something a little bit different though with the conference type thing. Tom from the table, the huge table, a lot of people there, but I thought it was okay. I mean, a little boring, but at least they were trying something a little different. It changed the dynamics of the appearance, and I think SmackDown's very good at that. I think WWE products overall have looked, at least from just a distance, very much the same as far as set styling and what have you for well over a decade now. A little bit of change here recently, and a little bit over time, of course, not 100%, but for the most part. And I like that SmackDown's really trying a few different things here and there. Just, you know, see what works, see what don't. That's say you got to do. So at least they were trying this with that. I like that. From there, heel Dolph Ziggler had a match against Apollo Crews. This little feud, I suppose, that's been going on since Ziggler's turn here recently. For me, still, there just needs to be more going on with the Ziggler, even as a heel. Maybe complete change. I don't know. I'm a Dolph fan, and I always have been for the most part, but I'm really down on the guy right now, and it's not anything to do with anything, really, other than I think it just needs a whole repackage. I think there's a lot of, I don't know that the heel turn's just enough to change the character enough. I think it's going to have to be a complete repackage, maybe even some time away. I don't know. It's personal opinion, but nonetheless, there was the beatdown spot afterwards, set up for a handicap match, Elimination Chamber against Ziggler, against Kalisto, and Apollo Crews. So that's interesting, I suppose. I don't know. Not extremely into this storyline, not extremely out of it. It's just kind of there, but I hope they can get something going good for Dolph. Really a fan of him, fan of Apollo, fan of Kalisto too, fan of all involved. I just don't know that it's doing what I'd like to see for any of those guys. But, you know, we're working. We're getting there. What did we go from there? The contract signing. Again, this SmackDown, and it was the go home before Elimination Chamber, and that was mostly to sell that show, and they did that in various ways. Like I said, some different things. The dual contract signing, I guess that was unique. It made sense because Mickey and Alexa Bliss been in cahoots here lately. I thought Mickie James and Becky Lynch both got fire promos. I thought they were very good, as both can do. Naomi next to Alexa Bliss, not particularly bad by any means, but I don't think it was a standout as far as on the microphone for me personally that Mickie James and Becky Lynch both were in this segment. But it was fine, blah, blah, blah. I think both these matches should be okay on Sunday. Actually, looking forward to them. Mickie James and Becky Lynch potentially could be really good. That's not a shot at Bliss and Naomi, but I think that could be potentially the better of the two matchups, at least outside looking in. But we'll see on Sunday, so that was fine. Again, SmackDown trying different things just to sell their shows and stuff. I like that. From there, we broke down into a 12-man tag team match. Again, this was selling Elimination Chamber and the tag team deal they got there, and I get that, but it didn't do much for me. There was just I don't know, just a lot going on. All the guys were out there. My main notes of it was Rhino was extremely over. They love some Rhino in Seattle, so that was cool. I like Rhino, always been a fan. Cool to see him having a good little run here and the crowd connecting with it, so that was cool. The Ascension ended up squeezing out the victory after a bunch of spots outside, everybody jumping, landing, and that was fine. I'm not a huge Ascension fan, but hey, this is the guy's first victory on television in 12 months, possibly a little more, right around that 12-month period. You can look that up, as a matter of fact, because that is accurate. It's not house shows, anything like that. So, good for those guys to get a win. They're there, they're doing stuff. It's cool. I'm, like I said, personally not a huge fan of the Ascension as a team. Haven't been even since the NXT days, when I know some were who aren't as much now. But just never done much for me. But nonetheless, these guys are there busting their balls. They're working hard. Yeah, so good. I got them a victory. I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. And then, seems like a short one, but it seemed like a short SmackDown. Again, it was just selling for Elimination Chamber, and that was the goal of this episode, I suppose. Cena versus Randy Orton. Bray out at ringside. The matchup that we've never saw before. Oh, wait, we saw a bunch. But, for me, looking at this, and a lot of people hating on the Cena and Orton thing, and yeah, we have saw that a ton. But I thought, looking into it, going in, I was like, okay, a big marquee SmackDown matchup, two of the top players in history, let alone on the roster now. You got to, think about that. So that's cool, a big match. Orton out there with Bray, of course, so that changes the dynamics a bit instantly. I thought as far as the actual matchup here, I really expected a little more, I guess, for some reason. I didn't hate it, but I expected more. Again, I realized it was just to sell Elimination Chamber and set up all that, and it was fine for that. Just expected a touch more here, but it was good. They got some outside action there. They really started ramping it up then. Then, of course, we saw the referee go down. Bray Wyatt involved. I don't think that was shocking, but needed even. I don't think this is early predictions for Elimination Chamber. I don't think John Cena leaves there with that belt. I think it goes home on either Randy Orton or potentially Bray Wyatt. Luke Harper as a dark horse there, but I don't think that. But speaking of, Harper came down, kind of helped cement Cena, or helped give Cena the victory there, getting involved a little bit. So, interesting to see all this taking place. The change of Luke Harper. I think he can be a mega babyface. I think if you go back and look up Brody Lee historically, all through his career, I think fans have always connected with the guy, even in the WWE level, as Harper, as Brody Lee. So I think there's a lot of potential there for something really cool. I hope they see that, and this is the start of that breakout period. Huge fan of Harper, actually, right here. Speaking for myself, I think most of the Arson compound, the Arson brothers, speak for that, but I thought it was a fine SmackDown. I don't think it was great. I was hoping for just a little bit better SmackDown, I guess. I don't know. I don't like to complain about things because I understand how these things work, how it goes. But I thought it was fine. It was a good SmackDown. It really, it did. It sold Elimination Chamber. It set up nicely. Continued storylines for everyone, everything involved there. I think SmackDown writing really is much better, a continuity flow maybe than Raw right now, if that makes any kind of sense. But a pretty good SmackDown. There have been better recently. There definitely could have been worse. But that leads us, all into Elimination Chamber this Sunday. We'll be covering that here. Also going to try to pop out 205 Live, which came on right after this show, and get an AB reactions for that. Actually looking very much forward to watching that. So, there we go, guys. That is their take at SmackDown. Join us back for 205 Live. I'm AB Matt Klein at Blue Turtlegrass on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, probably most of social media that you can think of. Arson Brothers, you find us on Facebook. Arson Brothers on Facebook, at Arson Brothers on Twitter, on Instagram. We got an Arson Brothers Snapchat, Arson Brothers. We're trying to get that going. Having some difficulties with that. If you check into that and we don't get you back, we are working on it. But stay tuned. Thank you so much. And I will see you soon for 205 Live.